little bit today. Why don't we start just by having you guys introduce yourselves and tell us your role in the band?
For sure. I'm Kyle. I sing.
I'm Rob, and I play guitar.
All right. So somehow I had it in my head that the prior album, Sowing the Seeds of a Worthless Tomorrow, was your debut full length. And now I know after some research that's absolutely incorrect. So clearly I don't know enough about the band. You guys go back to the beginning, tell me how it all started, all about the evolution.
It started in 2009. It started with me and the guitar player we had at the time, Sergey. And we kind of just wanted to be somewhat of a metallic grindcore band, with some other crust and death metal influences involved. And released the first 7-inch, Surrounded by Human Filth, soon after, and hit the road. That was it.
There have been a lot of changes.
There's been some. Kyle joined in 2011.
That would be very end of 2011, around there. Yeah.
Sergey left 2012-ish, 2012, 2013. And yeah, we've had Arjun ever since, and the band's pretty much been intact, somewhat, besides a couple bass players, but
okay,
what do they matter? I'm joking, but yeah, that's about it.
Okay. So Misery Rice recently came out, was it February?
Yep, 23rd.
So far, how's it being received?
Really good.
Some people like it?
Surprising amount of people. It's cool.
And are you guys personally happy with how it turned out?
Yeah, totally happy.
Very happy.
But, as I was researching for the interview, I was reading in Noisy that this particular album is a lot more personal than the prior ones, less political. And I don't want to rehash that. I mean, people do want to read that article, but can you talk a bit about the concept that perhaps the personal and political are really intertwined? In some ways, it's a bit of the same thing. Off base.
Yeah, a little off base. I mean, I didn't really mess with any political kind of stuff on this record at all, and I didn't mix it in together.
Okay.
It's pretty strictly personal. Opposed from two songs, Paradigm Lost and Rot. Those are the two songs that kind of stray away from it, but everything else falls in line with that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know I read Rot shares some thoughts on Please. What's Paradigm Lost about?
Paradigm Lost is kind of the cosmic joke that is humanity, and how, my personal belief, when we're dead, and that's it. And there's no afterlife. And people who believe in that, I think it's kind of arrogant to think that we're that important, that there would be something waiting for us after we die. So that's what that song's about.
Can we talk a little bit about, I know you said this album is a lot more personal, can we talk a little bit about politics, which we do have a history of being a political band, specifically in Alberta and Canada, how that's maybe different or the same as internationally in the US and so on?
Calgary's different. It's until a few years ago, I found it to be pretty culturalist. Not much to it, especially in the art and music scene. There's been a lot of bands from there that, I guess, politically motivated or oriented bands, don't really pop up from Calgary. It's a really white-collar town.
Okay.
Because I think that the oil and gas industry breeds that there.
Sure.
And again, it's very white-collar, and people don't last. People fade away from the punk scene or politics or, the metal hardcore scene. But again, in places like Edmonton, which is only a couple hours north, the strong art scene there, strong music scene, very political-minded scene up there. And I don't know.
I don't really have anything to add to that, really, yeah.
You say that the scene in Calgary is changing, though, but I can get into that.
I do. I think with the decline of price of oil and stuff like that, and I think people are just it's a hard one. I just see a change since that.
There's a pretty strong DIY scene there right now.
Growing.
Yeah, it grows and fades, as the years go on, but it's pretty strong right now. It was a lot stronger, I'd say, 5-6 years ago. There was a way bigger DIY scene. There was shows every weekend, and there was a different house popping up or a different space that people were playing. over the last little while, it definitely died. It's still there. It's still thriving. Like, it's still awesome. But it's not as big as it was, but it is growing.
I think with every scene everywhere,
yeah,
it comes and goes in waves.
It's peaks and valleys, right? It just happens, yeah.
So you guys, before we started, I think said that you're about 5 days into the tour.
Yep.
How's that going?
It's going wonderful.
It's been great.
Awesome.
The long drives are hopefully over for a little while.
Sure.
Had some crazy long drives. Had some winter weather road conditions, which were pretty treacherous. Calgary to Winnipeg was pretty nasty. Yeah, we're happy to be here and happy to be on the road.
Yeah, shows have all been good. I've met a lot of cool people, saw some friends. So far it's been good. We met up with Withered last night for the first time.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, on this tour, and that show was sick. So everything so far is going great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You guys like touring?
Love
Yeah.
touring.
Totally.
That's the vibe, music, getting out.
Yeah. I mean, I work to tour, basically.
We started doing this to make records. Those are our two.
Yeah.
That's what we love doing. We love playing live and we love making records.
What does performing a live show give you?
You know, it's hard to explain, but something that nothing else gives me. You know, because I'm willing to sacrifice everything in my entire life to come do this stuff. You know, work relationships, all that stuff. I think it's just, you know, you get to make this bit of art and you get to take it out and you get to show it to people and put everything into it. And, you know, you just feel it. You help, and other people help you feel it in the crowd. Like, oh, it's just a certain feeling. Yeah. If you know it, you know it.
Okay. Going back to the album, I know I read that Ethan McCarthy did some guest vocals for you guys on Rot and Illumination.
Yep.
How did that all come about?
He's been a good friend of ours for a long time. We've done tours with Primitive Man in Europe and the States, and we've just always been, from that, we've built a pretty strong relationship with him. And when we were in Denver, Kyle had the idea of having Ethan do some vocals, you know. He's been around us so much. And
I mean, he's one of my favorite vocalists, too. He's like a good friend, crazy vocalist. So recording with Dave in Denver, it just made sense, you know. So yeah, I was just asked and came to the studio and threw it down.
Bigger picture on the album, what was take us through the creation process of this album, the writing to recording to production?
Well, the writing for me was just kind of stuff over the last few years of my life that I've been dealing with, and that whole thing. Like when we finished Sowing, we wrote 2 songs directly after Sowing, and that was Paradigm and also Rot. And those are the 2 songs that don't fall in line with the rest of the album. But those 2 songs, I wrote those, and I wasn't sure what to do. I kind of got writer's block. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? So I was like, fuck it, I'll try writing a song about this, you know, this stuff. And I did, and then the rest of it just kind of flowed out. And then we wrote like a pre-production version of this album that was supposed to be the actual album. We weren't happy with it, so we took it back and we just kind of worked on all the songs and rewrote tons of parts and came up with a lot of thematic cycles in the music that kind of intertwined with the lyrics. Like there's a lot of like focus on cycles and like perpetual cycles on the record, and there's parts on the album that we kind of surrounded on it, like the intro and Burial Ground. Burial Ground at the end of it is also the same as the intro, and they both flow into each other. Like if you listen to the album on a loop, it all intertwines together. And we did that Paradigm Lost as well. We worked on that one like that. I don't know, what about the music for you?
Pretty much what Kyle just said. We put it together with a small, like the small theme of the cycle of what was it, like
just cycles.
The cycles of his lyrics. We had a pretty good idea of how we wanted it to sound and how it was going to, you know, be a cycle. And we took it, we did a pre-production demo of it. Weren't entirely happy and thought we could do a little bit better with Kyle's theme and Kyle's ideas. So we took it back from there, rewrote a lot of stuff, and that's the record that we put out.
Okay. It would end up being a pretty drastic change by the time you were done.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the album cover, which I still, every time I look at it, I think I see something different.
I think I do too.
So look at the artwork. How do you feel it fits with the concepts of the album, all that good stuff?
The guy who did it was Alexander Goulet from Montreal.
I think the album cover really set a tone for the sound of the album in a weird way too, because the cover's really gray and cold feeling, you know, and I feel like that just, it suited the music, and both of them together really created this like kind of atmosphere between the two, and it just really worked. Because we gave Alexander the idea, we just said, well, we want you to do art, here's some lyrics, and, you know, do what you do. And he came back with that, and it was just like, holy shit, like that fits so well.
He's an amazing artist.
Very good, yeah.
Great.
I couldn't be happier with that art.
I feel it's in addition, not instead of, but in addition to what you said, I feel there's an earthy feel to it too.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure. I totally feel you.
Yeah. You know, like a guy.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's next for the band?
We finished the tour with Withered. We come back. We have some festival stuff to do through the spring and the summer. Vermin Womb, another Ethan McCarthy project, is coming up to Calgary. Playing a fest up there. We're playing Sled Island, which is another Calgary festival.
Quebec Death Fest.
Quebec Death Fest in October. Some tentative tours for end of summer, beginning of fall. And also, we've written a bunch too, so possibly
more music.
Recording an EP. Maybe full length, who knows?
Cool. Yes. And last question, is there anything else you need to know about it?
What do you got?
I don't know. Bring weed to our shows.
Yeah.
All right, good to go.
Cool.
Thanks very much for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, how did you guys get into grindcore?
Into grindcore, probably listening to Disrupt.
Okay.
Not a grindcore band, I would say, but I would say that was my personal gateway into extreme grindcore, extreme music.
For me, it was a weird progression. Because when I was young, I first got into thrash metal like Pantera and Sepultura, Slayer, all that early stuff. And after that, I got into like gangster rap at a really young age. And then I found punk rock. And I got into punk rock, and I was so obsessed with it that I just didn't care anymore about anything else that I listened to. It was all punk. And then that was during the Napster days, and we were like just downloading everything. Do you remember Napster, how when you download something it would say for fans of or whatever, they'd list like a ton of bands in brackets. So we would search out those bands too, and I think the very first actual grindcore song that I heard was Dark Satellites by Pig Destroyer. And I had never heard anything like that before in my entire life, and I instantly fell in love with it. So after searching it out, it was like Pig Destroyer, Asssuck, Terrorizer, like all those classic bands. Like that was my first like exposure to it, and ever since then, yeah, absolutely loved it.
Excellent. Thanks very much, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Cool.
Cool.